Wolverhampton Wanderers, an English club located in the Midlands, recently promoted to the Premier League last season, that have a unique obsession with young Portuguese talent. With most of their star players being Portuguese and even their manager being Portuguese, there is a clear, strong connection between the Wolves and Portugal. Competing for European places this season, they are clearly flying high in the top flight with their young Portuguese stars and co. So I thought, why not take the Portuguese project further with Wolves, considering one of the managerial greats, Jose Mourinho, is out of a job at the moment and is reportedly ready to get back into management, and is also Portuguese, which is a big factor. Let's throw him back into the football management world and see how he can perform with this Wolves Portuguese project. Welcome to the Wolves Jose Mourinho Portugal Challenge. These are going to be our main goals with Jose Mourinho and the Portuguese Wolves. Number one, and most importantly, predominantly use Portuguese players and young Portuguese talent in the starting 11 and reserves, sell all non-Portuguese players in the club and bring the Wolves Portuguese takeover to a new level. Win the Premier League, FA Cup and most importantly the Champions League at least once. And the time limit for this challenge is going to be 5 seasons, as we are going to be simulating all the games except for the Champions League final. So 5 seasons to complete it with Jose Mourinho, with Wolverhampton Wanderers, with the Portuguese Wonder Kids. Let's get straight into it. If you do go ahead and enjoy the video, please smack a like on the video. Make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below. We're on that slow and steady grind to 5k subscribers. Follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description, and we're getting straight into the video. This is going to be a fun and pretty interesting concept. Let's see how it all plays out in the end. Jose Mourinho, Wolverhampton Wanderers, let's get this underway. Alright guys, here we are, season number 1 with Jose Mourinho, as you can see in the top left hand corner, the manager name, and we have changed the Wolves starting 11 to a mostly Portuguese one. Of course, Jimenez is up top. We're probably going to be looking at getting a new striker, a few new centre backs in as well, as Bolly and Bennett, both not Portuguese, as well as Doherty in the back line. So the defense does need some work in terms of that, but for the rest of the team, looking at it, Vinagre, Cavaleiro, Neves, Costa, Moutinho, Jota are all Portuguese. So the core is pretty Portuguese, as well as Goncalves, which are kind of lesser known Wonder Kids in Wolves, but they're still young talent and are Portuguese, so they're going to be on the substitutes bench. But yeah, we're going to be hopefully transforming this side into a Portuguese giant for Wolverhampton, and hopefully winning a lot of trophies in the process. But that is all we have to work with for now. We're going to sign a few Portuguese talents and see how they can fit into the starting 11 as well. We've got a whole list of Portuguese talents and heroes, of course. Especially that man Cristiano Ronaldo will be a big goal. We might not get him in the first few seasons, but maybe towards the end of his career he could help Jose Mourinho and Wolves out. But yeah, we've got an array of Portuguese talent on our site, so we're going to see how things go. And also, we're going to start a youth academy. We've hired a scout. We're going to set up a scouting network in Portugal to see if we can get even more young Portuguese talent into this Wolves side. Let's get on to signing some players for Jose Mourinho and these Portuguese Wolves. We've got 88 million to spend, so let's see what business we can get done in this first window, and then we'll be going in January to see how the lads will get on. So we've sold our first non-Portuguese player in the side. It's going to be Ryan Bennett, the first on the chopping block. He is an English centre-back, 28 years of age. And yeah, just got to be out of the club, not Portuguese, so he is off to Besiktas. And we just get a stupid offer from Tottenham Hotspurs. They want our star man, Ruben Neves, the heart and soul of this team, the captain of this Wolverhampton Wanderers Portugal Revolution. He is going absolutely nowhere, blocking all offers for the man. And yet again, another sale. This time it's the other centre-back, Connor Cody, another Englishman, 25 years of age, 75 overall. He's off to France, he's off to Lille for £6.5 million. And we just get a silly offer for Ivan Cavaleiro, one of the main stars for Wolves, and of course he's Portuguese, so he's going nowhere. Ivan Cavaleiro staying here with the Wolves Portuguese project. And our first signing under the Jose Mourinho Wolves era, it's going to be Diogo Leite, the Portuguese centre-back from Porto, 19 years of age. Copped him for 7.5 million, 7.6 million, and he is joining Wolverhampton Wanderers under Jose. Hopefully he can solidify that back line and yeah, just be a really decent defender for us. Has got really decent potential on career mode, and hopefully he can be one of our big defenders this season. And our Irish right back Matt Doherty is off to Bayer Leverkusen for £8.2 million. We've gone and sold the Irishman, the right wing back, and the man that'll be accompanying Diogo Leite is going to be Ruben Diaz, the Benfica midfielder, the Benfica defender is joining us here at Wolverhampton. He's joining Jose Mourinho for £20.3 million. He's 79 overall, 21 years of age. He's got 94 aggression, which would be a perfect build for a Mourinho player. So hopefully Ruben Diaz and Diogo Leite can make some kind of partnership at the back, help solidify our Portuguese defense. And yet again, another departure from the club. It's going to be Roman Saiss, the Moroccan midfielder. He's off to Monaco. He's off to France for £6.8 million. And we've poached yet another Portuguese talent from Benfica. It is going to be the man that is touted for big things, João Felix, the young Portuguese winger now / centre forward. We picked him up for £16 million. And João Felix, the young new talent in Portuguese football, is going to be destined for big things. Only 18 years of age, he is going to slot straight into that striker position, replacing Raul Jimenez. And right before the season starts, we've picked up a big Portuguese signing. It's going to be our right back replacement for Doherty. It is Nelson Semedo, the Barcelona right back, 81 rated, 24 years of age. Look at those stats, absolutely beautiful from Nelson Semedo. He's going to slot straight into that starting right back position, and hopefully he can make it his own under Jose Mourinho. Yet again, another young Portuguese talent added to the side. This is going to be the team going into the first half of the season. Felix up top, Jota, Moutinho, Neves of course in the midfield, Cavaleiro down the left hand side, Costa down the right, our new boy Nelson Semedo, the two new centre backs in Leite and Dias. Vinagre is going to be our left back, and Rui Patricio is going to be in net. So we're going to save some money for January to see what deals we can pull off, but until then, let's see how the Portuguese Wolves can do under Jose Mourinho. So we've arrived in January with the Jose Mourinho Wolves actually competing for a top 4 position. They're sitting in 5th with 32 points, 4 points outside the top 4. Sitting on 32 points in 20 games. That's a decent stage to be at the halfway point. Of course, we're going to try and qualify for Europe this season, so that is going to be a big factor in how these Portuguese Wolves do, and of course Jose Mourinho. And we're even cooking up some young Portuguese talent in the youth academy. We've got some decent players here with some 90s potential, so hopefully they can do some good. Of course, we've got this man, Sandro Sequeira. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. 63 overall. It's got a potential of 83 to 93. He might be coming in clutch in a few seasons' time. We might even promote him to the senior team already. Branco and Madeira are going to stay in the youth academy just that bit longer. I think the squad is alright for now. We're going to leave it in January. And then, of course, we're going to make some big signings in season number 2. But this is how they're going to be for the rest of season 1. Alright, so we've reached the end of season number 1 with the Wolves Portuguese project under Jose Mourinho. And we finished in 8th. Our top 4 push kind of fell off in the second half of the season. Maybe because I didn't make any signings, but we can always improve for next season. 8th, sitting on 55 points. We were 10 points away from 4th position, so a lot to improve on for next season under Jose Mourinho. Let's see how these Portuguese Wolves can do for next season. And Ruben Neves was pretty much one of our best players, playing 47 games, the most out of anyone, scoring 7 goals and 2 assists. João Moutinho also did his part. Despite his age of 32, he scored 13 goals and 4 assists. João Felix also got a good amount of game time in there as well, as so did Helder Costa. And we got eliminated from the FA Cup round 4 by Manchester United 5-1. And in the Carabao Cup, we got eliminated in round 3 2-0 by Everton. So that is going to be it for season number 1. Let's get straight into season number 2. So we've arrived at season number 2, and we've got a war chest of 91 million to spend this season. So hopefully we can make a few key signings that'll really make an impact for this team and Jose Mourinho. So we're not messing around this season, boys. Season number 2, we're starting off with a bang. We've blown a considerable amount of the transfer budget on Bruno Fernandez, the Portuguese center attacking midfielder. We've literally traded an arm and a leg for him. One of our star players of last season, MOURINHO. We swapped him out for Bruno Fernandez for 64 million plus MOURINHO, and then we of course get Bruno Fernandez, 24 years of age, 86 rated. He's going to slot straight into that center attacking midfield role. He surely will be one of our huge stars this season. So it's season 2 and we're still in the process of selling some non-Portuguese players in this side. It is Jordan Graham going to FC Midtjylland for £1.1 million, and also Ofusu Aye going to Hull City for £500,000. And one of Wolves' heroes in the championship a few seasons ago, Leo Bonatini, the Brazilian, is headed to Besiktas for £3.75 million. And the Spanish striker Rafa Mir, a player that was on loan and came back this season, he's off to Ajax. The 22-year-old Spaniard is off to the Netherlands for £8.7 million. And our second signing of season number 2, it is going to be Ruben Vezo, a centre-back, some defensive reinforcement for this season. A backup centre-back we got for £10 million. He is from Valencia, 78 rated, and should be a decent centre-back. And another sale is Will Norris, the goalkeeper. He is headed off to Serie A. He is going to Parma for £670,000. And yet again, another reserve goalkeeper, Andreas Sonnegaard, is off to Luzern for £220,000. And we finally sign a backup striker for João Felix. It is going to be Rafael Leao, coming from Lille in France. £14.9 million for the striker. He can also play left midfielder, still only 20 years of age and showing great potential. 76 overall as well, so hopefully he can put a shift in the final third and get us a few goals this season. And the 24-year-old centre-back Courtney House, we've sold him to Norwich City in the Championship. The Englishman has gone there for £1 million. So we've actually gone ahead and signed a player that Jose Mourinho actually signed in real life for Manchester United. It is going to be the Portuguese right-back Diogo Dalot, the 20-year-old, 75 rated. He's going to be a backup for Nelson Semedo. He can also play in the right wing position as well, so he's versatile down that right hand side. Diogo Dalot, another promising Portuguese winger slash defender. Hopefully he can put in a good shift for us down that right hand side, and we picked him up for £10.5 million. Diogo Dalot following Jose Mourinho to Manchester United, and now this Wolves Portuguese project. And this is how the team is going to look for the beginning of season number 2. Of course, João Felix up top, Fernandez and Jota in the centre attack and midfield positions, Ruben Neves the captain, the metronome in the midfield, Cavallero and Costa on the wings, Nelson Semedo, Dias, Leite, Vinagre and Patricio in goal. Our new signings, Leao is going to be on the bench as a super sub. Dalot and Vezo, of course, are going to be there as well. But other than that, we've pretty much used all our transfer budget. Really what we need next is a backup Portuguese keeper. Rudy is probably our best backup right now, our only backup. And we probably need to buy a keeper for the start of season number 3 or in January. But yeah, that is going to be the team. And at the halfway point in the Premier League season, we're currently sitting in second, 40 points, 5 points behind Manchester City in first. So we're starting a little title challenge here. Hopefully we can solidify the top 4 position this season. But yeah, a solid start to the first half of the season. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Reading, I don't know how, in round 3 on penalty. We're still in the FA Cup. We got a match up against Liverpool in round 3, and we're sitting at second in the Premier League, so very, very decent first half of the season. Let's see what the second half brings. And we finally sold Willy Bolly, the French centre-back, 28 years of age, 80 overall. We've sold him to Villarreal for £12.2 million. And we've also shipped out Johnny, the left back. The Spaniard is off to Premier League opposition Spurs, 81 rated. We sold him for £14.4 million. And from one Spaniard to another, this time it is Adama Traore, the Spanish right winger. He is off to Atalanta in Serie A. We sold him for £13.1 million. So at the end of season number 2, we end up finishing in 5th with 63 points, therefore qualifying for the Europa League for next season. So we get a bit of European football in for next season, get a bit more money in the transfer budget as well. Manchester City ended up winning the title. We were 6 points away from the top 4 and qualifying for the Champions League, but 5th is still a decent position and an improvement on the 8th position we finished on in season number 1. We ended up getting knocked out by Liverpool 2-1 in the FA Cup round 3, so the cup competitions we kind of need to improve on a bit for the boys. And yeah, of course, one of our star players this season, Bruno Fernandez, our record signing for £64 million, paid off as he gave us 15 goals, 12 assists, as well as João Felix getting 16 goals in there. Helder Costa and Rafael Guerrero also getting a decent amount of games. Ruben Neves had a big injury in there as well, so he didn't really get as much game time as he could have. But yeah, those are some of our big performers in season number 2. Let's see where season 3 takes us. Alright, so season number 3 begins. This is where we really got to get down to business with this Wolves side. We've got £171 million to spend in this transfer window, so a lot of big signings hopefully are going to be coming to Wolves and this Portuguese project with Jose Mourinho. Let's see what we can conjure up, and we've gone and secured a new starting goalkeeper to replace Rui Patricio in net. It's going to be Anthony Lopez, the man coming from Lyon, 87 rated, 29 years of age. He's going to start in between the sticks for us for £44.5 million. He's going to join Jose Mourinho at Wolves. And we've only gone and activated Gonzalo Guedes' release clause of £55.5 million. The 23-year-old is going to be upgrading in that left midfield position from Cavallero, a big upgrade, 85 overall. He can also play at striker and in the midfield as well, so a very versatile player, Guedes. And yet again, another huge upgrade to the left-hand side of the field. It is going to be Rafael Guerrero signing from Borussia Dortmund, going to be our starting left-back for this season. He can also play left midfielder as well. He has come in for £30 million, 84 overall, 26 years of age. And our last signing of the summer transfer window in season number 3, it's going to be Jedson Fernandez, one of the most promising players in Portuguese football at the moment as well. He's a midfielder from Benfica. We've stolen a lot of young Portuguese talent off Benfica this video, but Jedson Fernandez is joining us at Wolves. We signed him for £20.4 million. The 21-year-old is 79 overall and is probably one of my favourite players in FIFA 19 career mode. He's going to be a backup central midfielder for Ruben Neves. This is how the squad is looking going into season number 3. Of course, it's pretty much the same besides this left-hand side, which we've upgraded massively. Gonzalo Guedes on this left midfield position, as well as Rafael Guerrero, now at an 85 overall, is going to be our left back. We've put Cavallero on this right-hand side, and our bench has our summer signings such as Jedson Fernandez, Costa, Leao, Vinagre, Dalot, Vezo, and Patricio on the bench. Of course, our youth academy wonder kid Sequeira is on the reserves, as well as Gonçalves and Alves, but that is pretty much all predominantly Portuguese. Let's get into season number 3. So at the end of season number 3 with the Portuguese Wolves and Jose Mourinho, we finished up in 3rd with 73 points. Arsenal just 3 points ahead of us in that 2nd position. We've qualified for the Champions League for season number 4, so hopefully we can go out and do as best we can in that competition, but we continue on. We finally finish in the top 4. We're going to have a look to see how we did in the FA Cup, see how far we went. And we got knocked out in round 3 by Manchester City. We ended up getting knocked out 5-0 on aggregate to Manchester City in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. And in the Europa League, we're going to have a look to see how we did in the Europa League, and we ended up making the final up against AC Milan. Isn't going to be as big as I once thought, because we have qualified for the Champions League already by finishing in 3rd position, but it's a good chance to get silverware and Jose Mourinho's 2nd Europa League title. This time, instead of Manchester United, it's going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers. Alright guys, this is going to be the starting 11 going into the Europa League final up against AC Milan. Dias is out because he's injured, so Vezo is going to take his spot at the centre-back position. Otherwise, it is pretty routine starting 11 stuff. We're going to simulate this final up against the Italian Giants, and let's see how the boys do. And we somehow end up winning the Europa League against AC Milan. It's that man Gonzalo Guedes, our season 3 signing, getting the opening goal in the 43rd, and we ended up holding on to retain to actually win the Europa League title for the first time for Jose Mourinho and the Wolverhampton Wanderers. That is our first piece of silverware under this Portugal project and the Jose Mourinho era. Portuguese dynasty at Wolves is going from strength to strength, and there is Nelson Semedo, I believe, posing with that gorgeous Europa League trophy. So our main performers in season number 3 for our Europa League winning and Champions League qualifying season is of course Bruno Fernandez. 60 games, 21 goals, 17 assists, definitely one of our best players in the side. Gonzalo Guedes did well for his debut season. Guerrero did well for his debut as well. Rafael Guerrero is getting in amongst the goals. Bruno Fernandez got some decent game time in there as well as Ruben Neves. Can we continue in season 4 and go all out by winning the Premier League and the Champions League? We're going to have to wait and see. Alright, we're at the start of season number 4. Let's not mess around. 176 million to spend. We're hopefully going to pull some big things off with Jose Mourinho this season. Our first season in the Champions League as well. So let's see what we can do with the Portuguese boys. Let's see who we can bring in. It's going to be a big season. And we've gone ahead and started season number 4 by signing a big striker. It's going to be Andre Silva. He came from Real Betis in this career mode, but plays for Sevilla in real life on loan from AC Milan. And we picked him up for £55.1 million. Hopefully he can lead the line for us this season in the Premier League and especially in the Champions League as well. Andre Silva, welcome to Wolves. And from one Silva to another, from Andre Silva to Bernardo Silva, we've literally drained pretty much all of our transfer budget for this guy. 91 rated Bernardo Silva, coming from Manchester City, 26 years of age. He is probably our biggest signing so far, coming for a whopping £92.5 million from Pep Guardiola's side. He is going to be the main man for us this season. Hopefully will deliver us some glory on the continental stage. Bernardo Silva, now a part of Jose Mourinho's Wolverhampton side. And for our third signing of season number 4, it is going to be Edgar Eye, I believe that's his name. Centre back, 27 years old, 78 overall. He's going to be just a backup centre back, a backup defensive player if we ever need it. We picked him up for £10 million. Edgar Eye is going to be a great backup player for the defense. And we have a UEFA Super Cup match up against the Champions League winners Manchester City, and it's Bernardo Silva's ex-employers as well, so it'll be a pretty interesting match. We're going to go ahead and simulate it to see how the Portuguese lads and Mourinho does against ex-rivals of Mourinho as well, Manchester United. We go ahead and win 2-1. Jesus missed a penalty. Andre Silva, the other Silva, got the goal. Our striker and Ruben Neves in the 52nd minute secure us the UEFA Super Cup. Alright, so this is how the team is going to look going into season number 4. Pretty strong. And let's see how season 4 goes. Hopefully we can secure some trophies. So we're halfway into season number 4. We're currently sitting in 4th position in the Premier League. We've got Real Madrid in the round of 16 of the Champions League. This is going to be a tough one. We did end up finishing in 2nd in our Champions League group as well. So we have a Carabao Cup final up against Arsenal at Wembley. It's a good chance for the Portuguese Wolves and Mourinho to get their hands on some silverware, their first piece of silverware in season number 4. I thought it's not on the trophy list, however, it still is a trophy. And we go ahead in dramatic fashion and win it on penalties, 4-3 against Arsenal. So Jose Mourinho and the Portuguese Wolves get their hands on their first piece of silverware. It's not the FA Cup, it's the Carabao Cup against Arsenal, which is a very decent result. Alright guys, season 4 has come to a close. We're going to take a look on how we did in the Premier League, and we finish in 4th, nearly getting that runners-up position, literally 1 point away. Man City win it, 6 points ahead of us, and yeah, we have one last season to go for the Champions League, the Premier League, and the FA Cup. This is going to be a massive season. So very close away from that 2nd position, but not that great. We end up getting knocked out in a round 4 replay against West Ham on penalties. However, we did win the Carabao Cup, so that kind of makes up for it. I'm assuming we ended up getting eliminated from the Champions League in the round of 16 against Real Madrid. Yeah, we got knocked out 3-2. A pretty tough opponent to come up against, but that only means that we need to improve for our 5th and final season under Jose Mourinho and the Portuguese Wolves. Neves, Fernandez, Silva, Bernardo Silva, Semedo and Guerrero were some of our top performers, as well as Diego Jota, but yeah, the team really needs to pick it up in season number 5 if we want any chance of silverware in our final season with the Portuguese project. Let's hope to compete for the Premier League title and as much as we can, but let's get into season number 5. So guys, we are in season number 5, of course the final season, and it's World Cup year, it's 2022. As you can see, pretty much all of our starting 11, besides Guerrero at left back for some reason, is out on international duty with Portugal, so it's very good to see all of the Portuguese young talent out on international duty. 14 players out on international duty with Portugal is always good to see on the world stage. And this season, in season number 5, we have £195 million to spend. So hopefully we can get some elite signings. We need to go all out and we need to do it. So new season, new big talent coming to the side. This time it is one of the most hyped up wonder kids in career mode, and for Portugal it is going to be João Cancelo. We did end up swapping him out for Diogo Dalot, which wasn't really at the rating I wanted him to be in this season. We swapped him for 54 million plus Diogo Dalot, and considering Cancelo is 89 rated, that is a very, very decent move. He's going to slot straight into that starting right back position. So yet again, another upgrade to the team. It's going to be Gelson Martins, the man coming from Atletico Madrid, signing for 52 million pounds. Is going to upgrade that right midfield position where Gonzalo Guedes is currently. And yeah, he's an 86 rated, 27 years old, 5 years into the future. Let's hope he can do a job on the right hand side for Mourinho and the Wolves. Another great solid addition into the side. And for our third signing of season number 5, it's going to be a great backup utility player, a Portuguese wonder kid of years gone by. It is Renato Sanches, the Portuguese midfielder that was key in that Euro 2016 side, and we activate his cheaper release clause of 16.6 million. We get a bargain for Renato Sanches. It was an offer I could not refuse, and will be a great rotation player when players get injured or suspended. 84 rated now in 2022, and hopefully can propel us forward. Hopefully we can unlock the best in him under Jose Mourinho as well. And it breaks my heart that we can't bring Cristiano Ronaldo to the Wolves Portuguese project. Would have been an awesome signing for CR7 to join, but unfortunately he's retiring this season and we can't pick him up, and that is heartbreaking, to be honest. Really wanted him under Mourinho to reunite under Jose, and unfortunately he's getting on. He's now 37, so he is 85 rated as well, so we might look to other options. And I was also planning on picking up Danilo Pereira for this last season to back up the defense and the central defensive midfield position, but he recently signed a pre-contract negotiation with Everton, so we can't pick him up. Should have picked him up in season 4, didn't do so, and now we're paying the consequences here, lads. And for our fourth and probably final signing of season number 5, we've gone and got Daniel Podence, the left winger slash central attacking midfielder from Olympiacos, 84 rated. We picked him up £42 million, and he is probably going to be our last addition for this last season. Alright guys, this is how the squad is going to look going into the last season. Hopefully we can at least win 1 or 2 of the targeted silverware. Let's see how the boys do in season number 5. So it's halfway stage in the season number 5, and we are continuing on. Carabao Cup semi-finals against Everton. We're going to have a look to see where we are in the FA Cup when it loads, and we were knocked out by Liverpool 3-0, so no FA Cup glory for Jose and the Wolves, but we continue on. In the Premier League, we're leading currently along with Newcastle United in second, so can we hold on and maintain that first position for our first Premier League trophy? We're going to have to wait and see under Jose with the Portuguese boys, but hopefully we can sustain that number 1 position, because we do need a trophy this season, as we're going to continue on to see in the Champions League. We're still in it against Atletico Madrid. We're coming up against them in the round of 16, so we're going to have to see what the second half of the season brings to see if we can deliver some glory for these boys and see how the Portuguese lads get on. But let's see what the second half of the season has for us. So we've got a Champions League semi-final up against Real Madrid. This is going to be the team going into it. I decided we might as well live simulate the games and hopefully get our spot in the Champions League final if we can do it against Los Blancos. But we're going to simulate it. We end up winning 1-0. Silva gets an early goal in the first minute, and that's how it's going to stay. We're headed to the Bernabeu for the second leg. Let's see if we can hold on and solidify our spot in the Champions League final, which we will play. So this is the team going into the Real Madrid second leg semi-final. The first team pretty much back in action at the Bernabeu. Can we cause an upset and make our way into the Champions League final? We did win the first leg 1-0. Hopefully we can hold on, maybe snatch an early away goal. Hunter misses a penalty. That is good for us. We continue on here. Felix gets a yellow card. Felix gets a goal in the 29th minute. That is an away goal. Crucial away goal. Real Madrid need 3. Can we make it? Hunter gets one back there. It's 2-1 on aggregate so far. We do have that precious away goal. We can... oh, Leao comes on. Felix gets a red card. I didn't even notice. Happened so quickly. We get that 2-1 victory, baby. We are headed to the Champions League final with Jose Mourinho, with the Portuguese Wolves. Get in there, boys. We still could have a chance to win the Premier League as well. Martins is going to be out for 7 days, but let's see who we're facing in the final. We're going to be coming up against PSG in the Champions League final. We've got our remaining 2 Premier League games to see if we can go ahead and win the Premier League. It's going to be a big month of May to finish off the 5th season. Can the Wolves do it? We're going to have to wait and see. Okay, guys, we are up to our last Premier League game of the season, and it is literally a title-deciding game on the last day against Manchester United at home at the Molineux. They are on 72 points. We are on 71. If we win this game, we win the Premier League. And you can see there, Wolves look to fend off Manchester United in potential title decider. It is a title decider. Last game of the season. We're going to put our strongest starting 11 in before the Champions League final. This is going to decide if we win the 2 trophies we're aiming for this season or not. This is huge. What a final day in the Premier League we have, and we're going to go ahead and simulate it. Alright, it is going to be Jose Mourinho up against his former employers in Manchester United, a place where he failed to win the Premier League. Can we do it up against the Red Devils at home? Gets us off underway. 11th minute opener. Oh, we can see the equaliser in the 32nd. Oh no, what's going to happen here in the second half? I don't even want to look. This is too suspenseful. Surely we can get the second to win it. Guedes comes on to get the second. Surely, hold on. 2-1, 2-1, yes! Oh, what an absolute game from the lads. We go on and win the Premier League. No way. 2-1, Guedes, the hero, coming on to get the second after Martial got the equaliser. Second half performance from the lads. We got the goal, we held on, and we are Premier League champions. But we got to go straight to the Champions League final as well. And as you can see there, Wolves crowned Premier League champions. If the graphic ever wants to load, there it is. Mourinho and Bernardo Silva with that Premier League trophy in the orange ribbons of Wolves. And should have a little Portuguese flag on there, to be honest. But we're on to bigger and better things. It's Champions League time, baby. And here's the final squad report before we go into the Champions League final. Unfortunately, our Felix is suspended, so we're going to have to do without him for our final game under Mourinho. But that is going to be the team going into the Champions League final. Or Portuguese, or under Mourinho, or at Wolves. This is the final side, and hopefully a Champions League winning side by the end of it.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love.
Alright, Champions League final night at Wembley. We're underway with Wolves. Diogo Jota, that's a bit of a bad touch from him, but Bernardo Silva going to find Gonzalo Guedes, and what a shot. Just went over the bar, off target from Gonzalo. Silva can slip through Andre Silva, the Silva connection, and Areola makes a really decent save there. Can we keep it in? We do with Bruno Fernandez. Going to put it back in the middle. Cancelo finds Ruben Neves, finds Silva, and I thought that was 1-0. Silva narrowly misses, off target yet again. Jota, he's going to cut back inside. Can he find Silva again? Kimpembe blocks. Neymar running out of defense. Mbappe is going to be wide open here. Can we shut him down? Kylian Mbappe back to Neymar. Back to Neymar. He takes a shot. Lopez. Bernardo Silva. Neves has found Fernandez. And surely that's a goal. Jota! What a goal. We've started it off here with a goal. I couldn't even speak halfway through. But Jota has found the opener for us. An original Wolves player as well. And Mourinho's men have gone 1-0 up. Get in, lads. What a finish from Diogo Jota. A brilliant one from Bruno Fernandez. Couldn't get his name out. He got caught and it fell to the feet of Diogo Jota. And it was off the post and into the back of the net. Bernardo Silva's whipped that in with pace, and that's going to be the second. It is Bruno Fernandez this time. He gets his goal, and what a goal it was. A beautiful header, scintillating header in the 37th minute, and it was a beautiful ball from Bernardo Silva in as well. And I thought it was going to head towards Andre Silva, but no, it was beautifully curled and whipped in, and the header was amazing from him as well. Areola couldn't keep it out. Bruno Fernandez, the captain, heads it home for the second. No, we've lost it in the box. Belotti has found someone in the middle. It's hit the crossbar. Can we head it out? Yes, we can. That was a scare. Wow, what a first half. 2-0 up. A dream half. Can we keep it up in the second? Let's wait and see. Neves finds Bernardo. Simply class from Bruno Fernandez. I mixed him up for Bernardo Silva, but Bruno Fernandez finishes it with a third at the start of the second half. You couldn't ask for much more. Bernardo Silva gave it in to Guedes, and it was a backheel assist, a very cheeky backheel assist from Gonzalo Guedes. And what a finish from Bruno Fernandez. Just passed it into the bottom right hand corner, just in the air. We go 3-0 up in the Champions League final. Neves surely can find someone on the left, and that was nearly 4. That's 4. Diogo Jota gets his second of the match, and we go 4-0 up in the 57th minute. PSG being torn to shreds by Mourinho's Portuguese Wolves, and we are flying in this Champions League final at Wembley. It was unlucky from Guedes to have his shot racket off the post, but it was Diogo Jota there at the right time to finish it off and get the fourth. Beautiful play from the boys. Beautiful build-up. Can we finish it off here with a fifth? Oh, maybe we can. Bernardo Silva with a great outside the foot shot. Oh, it's opened up here. PSG have pushed too many men forward. Bernardo Silva's going to crack it, and it's just gone wide. That is going to be full time for Jose Mourinho and the Portuguese Wolves. We end up getting the 4-0, very comfortable victory in the end. But that is challenge complete. Premier League trophy, Champions League trophy, and the Carabao Cup trophy. I know it's not the FA Cup, but we're going to count it as that. In 5 years, with this Mourinho project at Wolverhampton Wanderers, we've ended up finishing it on a high, winning the Premier League and the Champions League in the 5th and final season. That is going to be it, guys, for the video. If you did enjoy and made it all the way to the end, make sure to slap a like on the video, subscribe for some more FIFA 19 career mode content. I'm going to leave you guys with the highlights, with the celebrations. Follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. Comment down below if you want more of this type of video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been BCHD. This has been the Jose Mourinho Portuguese Wolves Challenge Rebuild.